Hey guys, I'm muted for just a little bit while I get things set up. We'll start right at 5. What's going on, Steve? What's going on, my man? Give me 1 minute. We'll get started. I'm just spinning stuff up. All right. How's everybody doing?
Good. You got your
Good.
streams
Yep,
going?
we're
Good.
good to go, I believe. Yeah, looks like it.
Right on.
Yeah, we're good. I think I don't know if Leo's going to be joining. It just depending. I know he's traveling, so we'll just go ahead and kick it off here. I'll pull up my notes. Okay. Um, Welcome everybody to the recurring TAN Council meeting today. For today's meeting, we'll be looking at some of our TAN-IP1 data, which should lead us into some discussions around some of the proposals that we have out there. We'll also have a Q&A and discuss Blue Light's proposal that he's given with the gamification system. First, however, let's start with an overview of the TAN Council and the purpose of these reoccurring meetings. These recurring meetings serve 5 critical functions. They provide transparency to our community. They create a structured forum for proposal discussions, enabling authors to present to the council and the community and to discuss, debate, and refine for formal proposals and voting with consensus. They enable regular platform updates. They ensure consistent communication amongst council members. And finally, they allow direct community engagement through questions and answers sessions. The TAN Council is a local governments council and organization within the Telcoin platform. Together, we serve as a provider and administrator of collective goods and services within the jurisdictional domain of the Telcoin Application Network, or TAN. The TAN Council, with our 6 members, makes decisions related to TAN improvements and policies through the TAN IP process. We need 5 out of 6 votes to approve proposals within a 120-hour voting period. Our primary duties are to allocate TEL issuance on TAN for stakers and developers to harvest, plan and finance the development of the Telcoin application network. Our key responsibilities include reviewing and voting on snapshot proposals, attending these biweekly meetings, providing regular community updates, monitoring the TAN systems in place, and enforcing operational rules. We'll use Discord for the day-to-day communications, the forums for informal proposals at telcoin.org discussions, and these recurring council meetings on Google Meets and streamed across multiple platforms for proposal discussions, deliberation, and refinement of the snapshot for formal voting. Overall, the TAN Council has authority over miner harvesting and planning and financing TAN infrastructure. So to start, we'll recap some of the items from last week's meeting. We talked, Knipsey talked about some of the TANIP data analysis, TANIP1 data analysis for the prior week, which he'll do again today. So thank you for that. We talked about community spreadsheet um, access. Andrew had fixed his community spreadsheet where it can provide individual wallet breakdowns based on the address you put in. Some items that are still in progress from last meeting: Storm Marketing Partnership. We're still exploring TNIP1 integration possibilities. We've had some great conversations with Storm and how we can better integrate to the telcoin.org website, and some more to come on this hopefully soon. Some on-chain analysis. We're continuing to assess the overall wallet activity and usage of the TANIP1 reward system, including how that usage has evolved over time. Today we'll talk a little bit more about that with some of the new proposals that have come up. And with that, I will hand it over to Knipsey to kind of go over some of the data.
Yeah. Hello. Good evening, everyone. Can you see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Sure. Great. So the last 2 weeks of TAN IP1 are quite similar. So let's take a quick look at the data from the latest period 27. The reward index stands at 0.96 compared to 0.93 the previous period. There are 61,000 TEL in undistributed rewards due to non-stakers as usual. 4 out of the 10 addresses are familiar faces. 2 or 3 are on their way to becoming regulars, and 2 had staked before, and 1 appears for the first time, the other for the first time. As usual, we've got 2 friendly pairs which have collected a solid million TEL, and the group with the referral champion collected 1.38 million. All in all, that's a total of 2.42 million out of 3.2 million distributed. So as you can imagine, that doesn't leave much to share among the 210 other eligible addresses. So now, moving on to the overall summary of TAN IP1, the total uncapped rewards since the beginning amount to 86.5 million TEL. The total undistributed rewards are just under 4.4 million TEL since the beginning. We had an average of 254 wallets which participated per period. So that's the reason. So finally, the team of the referral champion joined the game in period 19 and have collected 12 million TEL since then. And before that, it was a friendly pair which disappeared at period 19, and they were regularly earning 1.2 million TEL per period. We therefore had to draw some conclusions, which led to Crypto Stevo's proposal. So if he's available, I will now give the floor to him, and he can probably talk about his new proposal to pause the
Yeah.
TAN IP1.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks everyone, actually. But yeah, so I want to take a minute just to explain why I'm proposing to pause the TAN IP rewards for now. So the proposal I put forth this morning was to pause issuance for TAN IP. And first and foremost, the pause, this doesn't, it's not about taking away the program by any means. It's just to make sure that we're doing this right. As we can see with the data over week that we're assessing and presenting to the community, that only a few participants are being rewarded, for participation. So What that leads me to believe, and why I'm proposing for the TAN Council to vote to pause this for the time being, is just to make sure that the rewards are being distributed fairly, and these calculations behind these rewards are functioning the way that they should, and that the system's operating with fairness and transparency. I think, that's what we're here to do as the TAN Council, is make sure all those things are achieved. So we have that responsibility. Uh, Now, just to add, with any new initiative, it's important for us to take time to step back and assess what's working, and then identify where adjustments are needed. And I think by hitting the pause button here, it'll give us as a council the opportunity to analyze the data even further, validate the mechanics behind what's causing this the way the rewards are being distributed, and make sure that participants are truly getting the value that was intended. So, the bigger picture here is really iteration. That's what I'm proposing to do, is to pause it, iterate it, and roll something out better and more trustworthy uh, for the community. So we want to evolve TAN IP rewards into a more robust and engaging system, one that's not just rewarding participation, but also ties into gamification, which we talked about with blue light stuff, mission-based structures again with blue light stuff, and more dynamic incentives, which there's even a proposal out there from Andrew on some of these different ways to be incentivized based on longevity and some other criteria. So that way these rewards don't just feel like a payout for a few, but they become part of a larger experience that strengthens the community engagement, which is the most important, and the platform itself. So the pause that I'm proposing is it's really just about trust and progress. Trust in making sure that the system's fair and accurate, and then progress in building something that it's even better than what we started with. So what with my proposal, what I'm saying is that we'll use this time to refine and test and roll out the next iteration of rewards in a way that it maximizes long-term value for everyone in the ecosystem, and not just a few. So during this period, we can conduct analysis, of a few promising approaches, which I've already mentioned through here, and that's Andrew's multi-tiered system. Different paths to earn, and the crux of trading and rewards, that stays there, but it's only a percentage of, and then it's longevity and a few other things that he's proposed. So that would help with the community focus. If you don't have a lot of referrals, and you don't trade a lot in that, maybe you're just a holder, there's going to be other ways to earn. When so then there's a proposal out there that Leo, and I think Ari's had some input on too, and this is all mathematical distribution. So making sure that we have proper sophisticated algorithms that are accounting for all these variables, and this is well over my head, and so I'm letting the smart guys handle all the algorithms. But just there's more variables than just simply volume in the platform. This the weighted distributions based on genuine ecosystem contribution. That's a big one for me. I think the more you participate, the more you should be able to earn. So these relationships would make it really difficult to exploit, and make it safer and fairer across the platform. So, and then finally, the gamification integration, which Derek and I both mentioned. This is Blue Light. He's been building a test system right now. This is a reward system tied to educational achievement, which I've always been a proponent for, just trying to educate what the association does, or so there's multi-tiers that we can really use that as a reward mechanism to educate people. And then we could structure that around where we think weaknesses lie, right? And let's build out a reward structure for this educational path, and mission-based systems we've talked about. So what we want to really do is, and I think Derek mentioned, is talk about that, the MVP testing, and get some real user engagement. And if the council can sponsor that, that would be awesome. So once we roll something out, once we get this pause in place and we assess and restructure this, what I want to do is make sure we have metrics in place too for this new system. I want to make sure that important to and not only me, but I know other council members is the new user onboarding rate. I want to see that much improved. I think the way the system's structured now, because only a few are being able to take advantage of the rewards, that we need to make sure that it's equitable for everybody. And I think the way it is now, it's turning people off from using it. They're like, well, why am I putting in the time to make sure that I'm using the ecosystem when my rewards aren't that valuable to me, as it is now. So, but I also want to see sustained community engagement. If we do go through with a mission style reward system, hopefully people continuously engage with that type of platform. I know I did early on in my crypto path. Coinbase was offering these educational content structures on multiple different tokens, and hey, you earned, it was only $5 or $10 worth of that token, but you know what? I went through every one of them because why not? I wanted to learn about them, and it was a fun narrative and practice, and just earned a little bit of cash for it. So, and then obviously the long-term ecosystem value creation. We want to make sure that it's sustainable and it's equitable and it's trustworthy, and the entire ecosystem can use it. Now, one thing that we don't mention a lot here is when the network goes live. We're going to have to iterate again, most likely. Things are going to change then too. So we want to make sure that that it's all sustainable and equitable. So we do have implementation timeline for some of this stuff, and I think we as TAN Council need to discuss this internally a little bit. I estimated 8 weeks in total, but hopefully we can be sooner than that, and we can figure out what we're gonna what guardrails we're gonna put around this and build out, and how fast we can make it happen. So some of this stuff kind of can take time, so it'll be, we'll keep our finger on the pulse and report back to the community when the time is right. So, and just to finish this up again, this pause, it's about building a sustainable system that actually serves our community, our Telfam community, and fosters growth and nothing else. So, with that, I'll stop talking and and let BZ hop in.
Yeah, I think some really good points. I think this is something the community's asked for a while. So I think this makes sense, and I really think that we've got an opportunity here to kind of improve what we're doing and move it on to the next step. So that's I'm definitely in support of it. So curious what other people's thoughts are.
Yeah, I agree. I just posted in call messages, but no, I basically just said trials and tribulations. We knew we were going to come into this, and this was going to be a learning process. Um, this is our first go at it, and we knew there were going to be um, some things we were going to need to tweak along the way. But I think we have a good idea on how to minimize this moving forward, and even capitalize on this and improve it. And no, I think overall it's going to be a good thing for the community. I'm excited for the council to get together and figure out a new, uh, a rewards program, so that the next batch that comes out is going to be even more interesting to newcomers coming in. And yeah, we'll be good. We'll be good. We're gonna it's all part of the process.
Yeah, I think a lot's going to change in the next, um, few months, right? So I think it's a perfect time to because we have the time, right, to do this. Whereas in a little while we may not, right, because of how busy things are going to get. So now is the right time to really take a look at this and make sure that we have a good plan moving forward with how the ecosystem's going to evolve and Personally, I love the gamification idea. I think you engage people in many different ways. You can push different on-chain metrics, and it's very measurable. And I think there's a lot of positives out there as well. So
Yeah, I know Leo's on vacation right now, but I know he's been engaged, and we've talked a little bit about this proposal, moving forward quickly. So hopefully, as a council, we can get this to snapshot pretty quickly, sometime, uh, early next week or even late this week. So we'll see what we can do here.
yeah, definitely. There's a few other obviously proposals out there too. Leo put one out earlier today that's a extension of the TAN IP1 stuff that's got essentially kind of his calculations and things that he was recommending we could do. It's actually at the base of Andrew's proposal, and I got it on the screen here on the TAN IP2 stuff. So we have a lot of stuff to go over because there's a lot of good ideas in here of things that we can look at to, the sky's the limit. So the community's, kind of identified that, hey, this what's currently working doesn't work for us, so let's find something that does and really help drive. I think Matt had mentioned, the compounding off the marketing effort and getting more people excited about the using the wallet, right? So, and
Yeah.
that's the ultimate goal.
Yeah, and the educational piece too. I mean, Andrew and I have been hosting our Telfam chats, shameless plug, but we've been hosting those for years now, and we've always put out, that's basically what we were doing it for. We were hoping that new users got on board and we could educate them about it. Andrew and I sat through and before the councils were even live, we went through all the documentation that Parker released and step by step. Sometimes we only had 8 people listening, but we wanted to make sure that we at least tried to educate as much as we possibly could. So that path to me is hypercritical, I think, especially for new users on a new platform and a new app, and that we can shape and mold what those educational pieces are. If we want to talk about Telex or any other piece of the ecosystem, we can and there's always questions on telex, so could that be a portion of it?
Well,
So
the other
yeah,
thing too, Steve, is we can get feedback from since this will be under our purview, we can change. It'd be really easy to change some of the mission structures,
agree. Yeah,
and we
yep,
can take feedback from the community and do things that they want to see, and not have to have a long, arduous process to fix it.
right.
Awesome. I think that covered a lot of what we had on the agenda actually. Was just to go over the MVP sponsorship structure. We're kind of at an impasse right now. I think personally, to me, if this is the direction I think we're all in agreement on, and sending this to Snapshot would be the first step, and then we can kind of build out what next steps look like from the mission dashboard steps, and look at some of the calculations with Leo once he's back. Can't really talk about him if he's not here, um, and look at those calculations and go from there. But I think the idea personally, I'd like to see some sort of a um, data, whether we do like a sponsorship of a giveaway of X amount of tel for people to, we build out like a mission dashboard that's maybe just like a standalone with blue lights, and we, not the full blown thing, and just kind of get some feedback from the community of what they like, what they don't, I think that'd be very valuable personally. I'm not saying that has to be a long thing, but giving people some of these paused rewards for while we're doing some, product testing, I guess you would say, just to, because a goal, again, like Matt said, the goal is really we want more people using the wallet, and we want what we're doing to complement that, and
Yep.
getting that feedback from them of, hey, this is really cool. I like this. I can earn tel for, making 3 trades on the platform, or, whatever the mission may be. Doing a learning module on Telex, and these are all still things that will benefit the ecosystem, right? These are all still things that we can, complete your first trade still helps the ecosystem. Stake
Yep.
tel still helps the ecosystem. So all really good
Have
stuff,
we
I think.
have we thought about doing like maybe some advertisement spots on Blue Light's gamification pages?
Yeah, we've actually talked about that. We've talked about
Like
like
in
doing an actual hosted like using his system and doing a kind of like a Telcoin sponsored or a TAN sponsored like week of testing, right? Or something like that, where we have anybody that participates and completes the whole thing. I'm just throwing ideas out there, could get like 10,000 tel, right? Or, airdrop to them as a thank you for being part of the testing. And then we have a Word doc that collects, you know, some data based on the number of people. The thing will be is we want the data set to be big enough, right? We don't want it to be like 4 or 5 people. So, but yeah, we've definitely
I'm
talked about
thinking
that.
more on the lines of like, hey, could we reach out to Power Hive and see if they want to maybe put up, a message or something on the Blue Lights page?
You're talking about like banners and stuff?
Banners, yeah, like banners, and be like, hey, throw us, X amount of Telcoin or whatever. Then we could shoot it right back to the community, but it would further incentivize people joining it, and it would help both us and Power Hive or the game company.
Yeah,
I think it's a great idea, but I think we got to get through the MVP process.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
I know. Yeah, this is gonna be a learning process going into it.
I think that's getting down the road. Yeah, and yeah, Ty, absolutely. Ty said that for transparency purposes, we should state when the pause will be effective from, i.e., immediately after the proposed snapshot or whatever, or
No,
when
it's
we
in there.
vote, so.
I did put that in.
Oh, perfect. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, that's in there, Ty.
But with the thing, with it, and I was talking to Tim Hoda a little bit about this, just based on how we're going to do this. Because again, if Blue Lights doesn't want advertising on his site, right? Like it's his intellectual property technically, so we'd have to figure out how that works. I like the idea.
Aren't we licensing it out from him though?
Well, yeah, there's many ways to do it from the way that Tim kind of mentioned it. Yes, and I mean, again, my thought would be it's great exposure for his site, but if we could do some sort of a like hire him to build out a one for our actual telcoin.org as it drives website usage too, right? So I don't know. We got, like they said, we got to get through the MVP first. I think that's the first step.
We'll think about this.
Right. Yeah. I think a lot of good ideas. And those of you that are community members, I'm going to throw this. This is on telcoin.org under the TNIP stuff. I'm going to throw it in the chat. Please go on there, take a listen, or look at the proposal. We are obviously trying to do stuff that the community wants to see and that the community is wanting to, that they think is going to be fun and engaging and a good rewards program. So we want engagement there. Please go on the forums. I put it in the chat, and go and try and give us your feedback. Let us know what you would like to see, what you don't want to see, what you've seen in other projects. I know there's a lot of gamification systems out there. That's what we're trying to get a good gauge on. So please, if you can't see that link, it is just go to telcoin.org and then go over to the forums, and then you would go to the proposals right here, and it's under the TAN-IP proposals. So just take a look there. We'd really appreciate it. Okay. We kind of covered all the topics pretty
Great
quickly
job,
there.
fellas. That was efficient.
Yep.
Is there any, thank you, Joe. I'm reading some of the stuff on for the layout. Appreciate that. There was a comment from Type Guy about the Australian crypto convention. This is a little off topic, but it was a comment in there. I had gotten an email a while back from one of our other community groups about the Australian crypto convention and if Telcoin would be interested in coming to it. I kind of sent that on. I don't know who handles that on our side. I sent it to Parker, but I know he was super swamped. Is there anybody else on the holding side I can get that to, or anybody else? I don't know who. I think that's holdings.
Because Jeff's the one who
give it to Jeff. Okay, all right.
Jeff's probably the right guy, the commercial guy.
Yep. All right, so I'll send that to Jeff. And then Type Guy, I know I have your email. I think it's Dave.
Yeah, I know we got some active community members in Australia too.
Yep. I think it'd be great. I mean, we've got I think Crypto Mitch is down there. Obviously,
yeah, Mitch is there. Yep.
So we've got some.
It's simply just a market focus for Telcoin as well.
Right. It's one of our big markets, honestly, and one that we're trying to hit. It kind of goes back to some of the focus areas that we've talked about, wanting to make sure we have access in. So, 100%. Yeah, and New Zealand. So yeah, absolutely. I will get that over. I'll contact you off of. I have your email, so I'll send you an email. I'll introduce you to Jeff, and hopefully we can make some connections and some throughput there. So that'd be great. I'm just trying to read through our chat. Is there any other questions from anybody on the call here? And same with anybody in the stream. If you have questions, please ask. Again, this is network and related mostly. We can't answer questions about holdings or platform stuff, but we're happy to give some guidance otherwise. So any questions or anything anybody wants to discuss and we want to go over that is TAN related from the council side? I'll give it a few more seconds, but I'm not seeing any questions come through. All right. I think that's it for now. Kind of following steps will be we're going to take probably an internal consensus just to be 100% sure, and then ask Steve to probably send this to Snapshot so we can get moving on it, and we'll announce. We'll talk with Leo. I know Leo wants to chat a little bit too, but yeah, we've been talking with him, and we'll kind of announce kind of where we're going from here. And we will definitely keep the community updated, and we want to hear from the community. I think that's the most important thing. We want to hear what you'd like. We want to hear what you think would be fun. We want to understand that stuff. So
Yeah,
um,
just to say it again, yeah, I know you already mentioned it, but if anybody has seen anything that they've liked from other platforms in regards to mission bases or based or gamification, please just drop a note or reach out on X or any of the other platforms that we use. And we're open during this pause we can really shape this into what the community wants and wants to participate in. So take advantage of that. If this pause goes through, we have kind of a window of opportunity to take all that into account.
yeah, there's a lot out there. I was talking to Dally a little bit, and he said he's seen some cool ones. So I'll ask for his feedback also. But if any community members are in other projects that have seen some fun gamification things, please let us know. We want to build something that people want to use. One last
Hey,
question. Go ahead.
Derek,
Sorry, Steve.
Derek, what kind of metrics are we looking at in terms of like viewership?
Let me take a look. We're right around in between 500 and 600, which we average. Thursdays seem to be kind of a slower day for people availability.
Yeah.
And one other. Well, actually, we're up to about 800 right now. But the other thing too is the time. Ours runs a little bit later, so it runs into people's commute time a little bit too.
Right.
But yeah, the amount of viewership increases for our council specifically. When I first started streaming, we were averaging about 20 to 30, even when I was streaming over platforms. So we've had some really good reach, and I think consistency is key. Um, Professionalism is key, and if people want to come on and talk about things, or you have questions, or you want to present something, please put a proposal together, put it in the forums. Those are meant not just for council members, but for community members too. And I'm glad to see the kind of an uptick in that stuff, so we have some stuff to go over, because this is really community driven, and that's the point. And having a combined voice is the point. Yeah,
Yeah, I couldn't
Biju,
reiterate that enough. I mean, I think the people think that the council members are the only ones that can write proposals and put this stuff forward, but by no means is that true. I mean, this is for the entire community. If you have ideas, post them and we can discuss them, and if they're good ideas or there's consensus, we can certainly move forward with them.
And it's not just that we can discuss them. If you put a proposal forward to the council, we will discuss them.
yeah, it has to be discussed.
No,
Absolutely.
agreed. Yep.
Yeah. So if you
Yeah.
have a good idea, you know, we're you know, we're not going to just bypass it. Like if it's a good idea and we're going to talk about it, you know, we're likely going to be on your side on this entire thing as well. So bring those good ideas forward because we'll get on the platform. We'll talk about this stuff and you know we're always welcome to good ideas. So
Absolutely.
let's get them going.
One last thing from the stream. This is a little off topic again. Somebody had asked about the storm, when we can storm partnering, storm marketing stuff. So um, I'll just use this as a broad strokes opportunity to say, like, people understand this is a year-long marketing campaign. So the repository that got sent out, was the goal with that is not about just giving people, oh, I could have created that in AI. Yeah, I understand, but what it does is it gives a combined voice with that's the same lock and step, little things like having the Telcoin Association logo and font right there on every image that goes out. We saw our X, the coin, or the dollar sign tel, right? So the ticker, and then Telcoin, the word with a hashtag. Those mentions went up by almost 40% in the last 48 hours since that was released. So I mean, that's you can't. And then the images being put out, images with those as well went up another 20%. So I mean, I understand where people are coming from, but understand that this is a cumulative effort. This is not just one thing. That is not the that is not the end all be all of what they're doing. If you haven't had a chance
Yeah.
to go listen to the last platform meeting where Geo from Storm talked about what he's working on, please do, because there's some really exciting stuff in the pipeline. He mentioned, they are interviewing KOLs for Telcoin that they're going to hire specifically for the association. We mentioned commercials. He mentioned there's all kinds of really, really cool stuff that's coming down the pipeline. And again, you don't want to go too fast, too quickly, because then you do all this, and our main product isn't even here yet, which is the network for us, right? So this is a building effort, and I want to reiterate that. And it's always evolving and always changing. They're going to be helping us on the Telcoin side, or on the TAN side, with some of this stuff we've talked about, the website, the gamification system, and a few other things. So a lot of good stuff going on. And we all know how complicated Telcoin, the project, is to understand when we all first learned about it. So imagine being a marketing company and figuring out, okay, how do I make this digestible for somebody that knows nothing about Telcoin? And that's really the challenge, and what they're working on doing. And you will continue to see more and more and more ramp up. So I
Yeah,
think,
and I'll
go ahead,
just
Steve.
add to that repository is literally a community tool. So you don't have to make any effort or thought. Go in there, copy pasta, paste it, just to keep getting the word out. Consistent messaging. They're nice looking graphics, right? We all understand that, yes, we could all do this ourselves, but you don't have to now, right? This is a tool for you to use, and please use it. I put my first couple out today, and it is super nice, right? I added a little motion to it through Grok. It was super easy to do so. Um, this isn't the marketing campaign, so please don't. I've seen plenty of messages on social media saying this is it. No, no, this isn't it. This is a tool for us to use for now, right? As we roll this stuff out, it's going to get more and more, dialed in, so to speak. And so please don't think that this is just something that we asked for this and they did it for us, and I think it's an awesome step for the usability for the community, to have a repository like that. You don't have to put any thought into it. Grab a cool one, post it, and move on.
Yep, 100%, 100%. Um, I have gotten no more questions unless anybody else has anything we want to go over. Otherwise, our next meeting will be in 2 weeks' time, same place. You can probably look out for Steve and Andrew to post sometime when they're going to do one of their spaces, which is always really
Just
enjoyable.
just
So
waiting for him to come back, man.
yeah,
He's been gone too long, so.
for sure, for sure. If you All of our DMs are open. All of our emails are out there on the association page under the organizational chart. If you need anything there, please reach out. If you have ideas, let us know. This is a community-driven initiative and council, and the only way we continue to move forward is by utilizing the community. So more to come, and looking forward to kind of where this goes with the rewards-based system. I'm really excited for what we'll see in the future, especially with the network ramping up and the user usage. So
We'll see you in Discord and Telegram, gents.
all right, guys, have a great
All
day.
right.
We'll see you next time.